were at the station 8 Hunting Smith are right there.
We left them go in front of us. We were on O'Hara Road, and they were going up trees, Mom. We left them go ahead of us. But that's how quick. And we're out of the station within a couple of minutes.
And the South Approach crew requested Cannonsburg, because they were St. Clair Hospital. That South Approach crew got written up for it, because they called another ambulance service.
We go back to membership and response. You know, we have our fire department members who may or may not be trained medically, but we got all toned down in the middle of the night because there's a delayed response when we get them. They need someone on scene now. So they respond to us, and they end up, by the time we respond from home, get the truck out, we're at the scene at the same time. And guys get burned out. They're responding for a lift assist, basically, you know, help the ambulance to lift them out of the house or something. And you have guys who are, you know, going to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they go, well, I'll get up and I'll go because I was called at 3 o'clock, and after 3 or 4 times that they're really not needed, they're not getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning going to that ambulance call. They'll wait for the fire call. They're not going to the ambulance calls. And then it you know, slowly eats away at the response each time. Well, I won't go to that one. Well, maybe I won't go to that one. And we're back down to 2 or 3 guys on an engine for the structure fire because the other guy said, it's really nothing. I've heard that alarm come in 100 times and it's been nothing. And you cry wolf too many times, that's what happens.
No, I don't want to pile on, but if even if Southbridge will commit to having an ambulance in their station and not heading to Bridgeville every time the Bridgeville unit's on a call, what happens whenever there's 2 calls simultaneously or back to back within the township? Just asking that.
They should call backup. They should call, you know, if we have a call that we can't handle, we call alarms, we call Muse. If Muse says something, they call us. It's backup. They should do the same. But they're running their unit and they're running another one from St. Clair Hospital for that second call and they call crew in for the next one.
I think you're raising a point. They're fighting for survival too. They need that money from those transports to stay alive.
Yeah, but the bottom line is the response time.
Absolutely.
But it's somebody's life out of it.
That's what I was
Exactly.
Well, yeah,
What is life out of money?
but they're fighting to stay alive just like everybody else.
What they're doing is responding to a little pickup truck.
Yeah, that's a new thing they're doing. That's the
We're
new
doing
one.
the same thing. We're responding to our pickup truck, it has the same stuff on it, then we don't have the heart monitor and drugs.
Okay.
They don't do.
They'll respond their pickup truck with the supervisor who's ever on duty. And who knows when the ambulance is coming? It could be 15 minutes till the actual transport happens.
Sunday.
But the
Sunday, when we had that call, they brought the pickup truck. And they said they're coming. And I said, well, where they at? She said St. Clair Hospital. I said, well, when we call another ambulance service, she goes, no, they're coming. And they just responded to pickup truck. Pickup truck ain't helping.
Really, to be fair to them, we ought to let them
Like ours do, we have the
talk with
basic,
you.
oxygen.
I think
It's fair to them. I mean, they're not here to represent it. Every ambulance approach the subject is up to the supervisors to meet with them and say, here's our expectations.
Everybody's going to have that. They have to be willing to call in, call in, you know.
Over the last 3 years, I've had complaints, especially from people that live in or around youth, that they don't want Southbridge, they want Cannonsburg back.
Last year I called the ambulance at the sports area. They come in and put me in there. Next thing, here come Southbridge in my house. I never called them.
Because you're in Cecil, they're in Cecil Township, and they're called, you request Cannonsburg, correct?
No,
Fort Cherry.
Toward Cherry.
They are still coming.
They're still coming.
Well, let's
They
not even
refuse
Cecil. I hear
to step back.
years ago.
They think when it's used, a lot of people still subscribe to Cannonsburg. And Cannonsburg gets dispatched, and you have 2 ambulances. They're fine, they refuse to step back.
I don't know how many times that we've gone out on calls over on the McDonald side of the township, whether it's out Rising Road or Jones Avenue or wherever, where both units show up and they decide among themselves who's transporting, and, one unit leaves and one unit transports, So, I mean, there is definitely room for improvement that put up in that.
I think this brings up a lot of good points that we need to
Well,
look
I
into.
did talk to that South Bridge to get off?
He just said because they said they put a,
24/7.
they put a,
Township.
an ambulance in the township.
But that lasted about.
A year and a half.
Yeah, I was gonna say a year and a half. South, the unit that goes, right now, if you call 911 in South Point, the unit from Bridgeville responds to South Point, right in Cecil. Because they say it's faster to go on 79 than it is to go to.
I think we need to
Probably
solidify
good.
the way it used to be.
And it doesn't matter where it comes from, it's a response time.
I don't know, Klinger Road's pretty quick.
I think it's,
Going up
That's
St.
what
Mary,
they-
you know, right out Klinger Road.
to
it's
be
not-
fair, they should be here and answer their own questions.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Once you say-
We're gonna do anything right now.
The township says, here's what our qualifications are for ambulance service, and if you can meet it, you'll be our ambulance service, or we split it up between numerous services.
Yeah, we can't handle the whole township at one station. How can they?
We have the township divided into 3 zones for the 3 fire companies, so we divide the township into 4 zones for the 4 ambulance services, and the county enters their CAD system, and if a call comes in at Frank Ledwood's house, and he gets Fort Cherry, and if a call comes in at my house, I get South Bridge, and if a call comes in at Tony's house, they get Peters.
And if they don't
What
have a
about
unit in the
Peters?
township, then the next.
Well, yeah,
They'll
the
say-
call to
Rural
the
service, right?
But you make that part of the contract.
Peters
right?
has come in and used many times.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when they were.
And a lot of individuals have signed up with different ambulance services, that's who they want. And they should
I
have
think
the
the bottom
right.
line is we need quicker response time for our residents. So however we accomplish that, we need to figure it out.
I understand the subscription service, but at the same time, I think at the end of the day, the emergency is an emergency. Down out,
Oh,
you get
yeah.
resources,
But
doesn't matter if
accommodate
it's
South
subscription.
Bridge.
Oh, and the township, so the township
Well,
can say that we have
township, not our
one
residents.
ambulance service.
I asked Kevin Gamerson at one point, it was about a year and a half past that trial period, and I said, it was at a meeting here. It was like before the meeting, he was out in the lobby. I said, hey, Kevin, I have a question. Whatever happened with that trial basis for Southbridge? He said, I don't know. I said, well, you're the chairman. What happened after the year? He said, I don't know. Bring it up, ask about it. I didn't. I didn't.
That should be something to put on the.
But,
We need to talk to them
We
first.
need,
That's
I
like
mean, yeah, I think
the
that's
points that
exactly
we brought
what
up
we do
tonight,
anyways,
and
so.
like Cindy and everyone has talked about here.
And
The
the
bottom
only
line is
thing
we have to
how
reduce
can
the
they do-
response
How
time.
can they guarantee to do what they haven't guaranteed, what they haven't, we're supposed to do and haven't?
That's a good question. I mean, the bottom line is, Elizabeth, what we said is we've got to make sure that these response times are reduced. And if it takes more than one ambulance company, and that's the answer, then that's what we'll have to do. Because the,
I don't mean to be lied for the last 7 years.
He was in Chicago.
We tell us in the ambulance service here is not.
Down there, there's trucks in there, unless they're called, and they're gone.
Right, okay.
But if anybody, I don't care who you have in Cecil Township, if they got an ambulance sitting there, and Canonsburg has an ambulance sitting at your fire station, and they get a call in Motion Bay, and their other ambulances aren't available, they're gonna take that ambulance and go to that call.
Yeah, but at least they'll call somebody to cover it.
Well, yeah, but.
I can remember years ago when I worked out of Washington, Ontario, we run Claysville on emergency,
Let's not
because we had to go.
That's what I was making, mention about Peters. Canonsburg and Peters work well together because there was times when Canonsburg had our area and they were tied up. And Peters has no problem coming into Muse or 980 or.
It's a shame there's no mutual aid between the ambulance services.
Yeah.
And the medical command's coming from the same entity.
Yeah.
Theirs in Canonsburg,
Yeah.
coming from
Correct, Canonsburg.
and Fort Cherry.
There,
Yeah.
That's
That
something
makes
they
a lot
have
of
to do.
difference.
We don't, yeah, that's something they have to talk about. We can't
But
solve
he
their
said they,
problems.
Fort Cherry, Peters, and Canonsburg all have the same medical command, which is what our medical command is under our QRS license, is Allegheny Health Systems.
and Southbridge is UPMC. And that's what I said, is that not a little bit behind it, the consultation is receiving too.
Right.
They have to be willing to call for backup from another ambulance service if they can't make
Well,
it.
he'll come.
just, you know, it's a topic that we brought up just so you're aware of it.
Yeah.
And we find it,
No,
you
you
know,
did.
and we
Glad
talk
you
to
did,
each
because I think
individual
this is gonna start
supervisor
looking
on,
into.
you know, person-to-person basis. You get different opinions, where we're all here tonight, united and unified in what we believe, and we have all 5 supervisors here for a change, and EMS director, you know, and so we can all talk about these, and it's just showing you that here's a problem, something you need to look into, you know, as supervisors. Our problem is we need more money, and we need to do something for us, for the fire service, as we're building up this township into these monstrosity buildings and housing plans and everything that we're running out to, and it's just costing us more money. So we need more money. Response time on the ambulance service is something we're concerned about too, because it flows over to us, that we get dispatched out to these calls for overdoses, for cardiac arrest, because they have a delayed time frame to get to that call. So it does affect us somewhat, but the general consensus and the citizens of Cecil Township deserve to have that time frame reduced, no matter how it works out. But, you know, as a supervisor group, you said Southbridge is a township ambulance, and we're saying that may not be the best thing. So it's something you need to look into, and, you know, we give you our side of the story, at least you're all aware of it.
It's good. I think that was a
I know
good
where you
comment.
people going, because I used to be a fire chief for 20 years, and I'm a little borough.
That's why I was surprised before, Frank, when you said, it's been 2 mills, why change it now? And I'm thinking, why wouldn't you be willing to change it when
You
you?
know how much I got from the borough?
Well, that was how many years ago? This is